Well, let's now turn to the big focus story. We are turning our spotlight to West Bengal Chief Minister's latest statement because it is pretty serious in the kind of implications that it has on investigative agencies. West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee has leveled a stunning allegation against the National Investigating Agency that is currently probing the Mominpur communal violence and clashes that took place last month. The Chief Minister said that the agency is complicit in stoking tension. Mamata's big allegation comes weeks after the Ministry of Home Affairs ordered NIA to probe into the Mominpur communal violence. Speaking in reference to the communal tension that broke out in that district last month, the Bengal CM made a stunning charge, saying that VIPs use their vehicles to ferry cash and arms to foment trouble. Also adding that checkpoint security checks need to be intensified and it cannot be exclusionary of VIPs, saying that one needs to keep a close eye, close watch on VIP movement. So without naming the BJP, Mamata Banerjee says VIP vehicles are ferrying cash and arms inside their black cars. The West Bengal CM made these allegations during an administrative meeting in Nadia district. Happens to be a BJP bastion. So quick check of the timeline of events, if we can put that out on our screens. 8th and 9th of October is when the communal violence broke out in Mominpur and Iqbalpur areas of West Bengal. Those were the days where you saw violence, vandalism, several vehicles were torched, people pelted stones, cops were also injured. So that was the primary incident. Now on the 10th of October, Section 144 was imposed. On the 12th of October, 45 people were arrested in connection with that violence. On the 14th of October, the Calcutta High Court ordered an SIT probe into the matter. On the 19th of October, NIA took over the probe on the Ministry of Home Affairs direction. Following that, West Bengal Chief Minister now says that the investigating agency itself is involved in stoking trouble in the name of probe. So that's the statement we want to discuss. First, let's in fact listen in to what Mamata Banerjee said, and then we'll go across to our panel.
Communal পকেটগুলো এখন থেকে দেখে রাখুন, কেউ কেউ প্ল্যান করেছে ডিসেম্বর থেকে ধামাকা মানে কমিউনাল যুদ্ধ লাগাবে। কর্ণাটকে অলরেডি লাগিয়েছে। এটাই একমাত্র পথ, এটা বাঁচার পথ নয়।
Let me go across to Adrija to get a quick update. Adrija, what Mamata Banerjee is saying must be based on some sort of evidence or some circumstantial material that she has where, you know, literally the chief minister of a state is saying arms and money are being ferried into the state to foment trouble, and she says the VIP vehicles are being used. What else do we know about this? And give us the full context of what the Bengal CM said in this regard.
Well, today in an administrative meeting which took place in the Nadia district, CM Mamata Banerjee was present there, and she was talking to all the BDOs and all the MLAs of the constituency. And while talking about that, she said that you know, we have to be, because the elections are approaching, the panchayat election is there and also the Gujarat election is there. Because the elections are approaching, we have to be very careful regarding the international borders. And then she also went on to say that arms are, you know, smuggled across border via the VIP cars, because it is black car, proper checking is not done. She has also requested the police to ensure that Naka checking is taking place from now onwards. She has said that police have to be very careful, the authorities have to be really careful and very, very, you know, check thoroughly every vehicle. And she has also requested for extra Naka checking happening at the borders, especially the district near the borders. And this is regarding the vote, the panchayat election in West Bengal that coming up early next in 2023. And you know, while talking about this, she also spoke about how various, she did not take the name of the BJP definitely, but she did mention how some people wants to instigate violence in certain pockets where you know, the demography is not very equal. She did not mention name of any religion, she did not mention any political party, but she did say that some people want to instigate violence to ensure that they win the elections, they win the upcoming elections, also to ensure that people who will not vote for them are eliminated from the voters list that will be coming up. Therefore, she has asked the authorities to be very careful. She has asked the administration to ensure that every person living in these districts and the villages are able to register their names for the voters list, and she has also requested for special checking and thorough checking to take place, blaming definitely the BJP. Yesterday
Right.
also in another meeting she has claimed regarding the CAA, and she's also spoken how
so there's been a series of
before the election
statements,
comes,
Adrija,
how
but we
the
are
BJP
focusing
takes
on
over.
this part now. Yes, you rightly mentioned even on the CAA, the Bengal CM has made certain statements. She has also spoken about the porous northeast borders. But setting all that aside for now, let's focus on this particular statement because it's literally raising a very important and very serious question on the functioning of the NIA. Let's welcome Priyanka Tibrewal, spokesperson of the BJP, with us here from Kolkata. Also Professor Monojit Mondal, spokesperson of the TMC. Shantanu Sen, former joint director of the CBI, also with us. Thank you very much for joining us and for giving us your time. This is an important discussion we want to have, and it's pretty clear here that the Mamata Banerjee's statement raises questions on the functioning of the NIA and on the way it is probing the Mominpur violence. That is one. But it is raising a specific point about the movement of VIP vehicles as a means of transporting arms and cash. Professor Monojit Mondal, it's one thing to say the probe is not conducted in a fair manner. Here, Mamata Banerjee is going a step further, literally saying NIA is guilty of creating trouble. What's the basis of this observation?
When has she said that NIA is?
She said NIA is fomenting trouble. NIA is fomenting trouble. That is what Mamata Banerjee has said.
I did not hear the statement.
Okay, but she's saying that vehicles are being used to foment to transfer.
That's absolutely true.
Okay,
that's absolutely true. And as a chief minister of the state, which shares borders with at least 3 countries, she has got every right to say what she has said, that we need to be more vigilant. We need to check the vehicles coming across the borders, especially the black cards, and we need to take them. I mean, especially in view of the fact that one of the BJP ministers, who happens to be from North Bengal, he has got a deep Bangladesh connection. Many people alleges that he was a Bangladeshi citizen, and we need a thorough probe on that particular issue. So I think she's absolutely right, and that particular minister in the BJP government has at least 12 to 13 cases of murder, extortion, girl trafficking, and what not. So we have got every right to question, right to interrogate whether these kind of VIP entries, VIP passages are being misused for illegal purposes. She is the chief minister, has got every right to instruct, command her police officers to be more vigilant. And why should the BJP be scared? I think they should be happy because they believe in this kind of vigilante police
yes,
state.
and law and order is a state subject. Priyanka Tibrewal, what is wrong if all vehicles are thoroughly checked, including the VIP vehicles? Why have a lal batti culture? Why should they be excluded? Let there be a thorough checks of all vehicles, especially if the chief minister of the state believes that there is some amount of arms, cash being transported to create trouble.
There is no harm. Absolutely. They should encourage this. But here I will tell you that whatever question was placed by you to Mr. Mondal has not been answered. Rather, whatever he spoke has nothing to do with what the Chief Minister said. Now, here we heard that the Chief Minister has failed in maintaining law and order. You tell me she is a police minister herself. And giving an allegation like this, that there are vehicles which are being brought in the state where it is her police. It is her people who are there at the nakas. And then she's saying this. See, not just a few days back when the Ministry of Home Affairs, when they took a decision to extend the territorial jurisdiction from 15 kilometers to 50 kilometers, who opposed it? It was the Chief Minister, Mamata Banerjee, who, she said that she was blaming that the BSF will be encroaching into their powers. It is she who refused to entertain this request for West Bengal. although the BSF should have strengthened the police's hand. So now when the Chief Minister, you tell me she knows that this is being smuggled in the state, even then, nothing is being done by her police. Why? That is the question which remains. Now, this is a deliberate attempt. This is a deliberate attempt, to divert the topic. Now, what happened in Mominpur? Mominpur is just 10 minutes away from the Chief Minister's house. We have always seen an active Chief Minister running here and there, going everywhere, but she did not have time to go to Mominpur because houses of one particular community were burnt and were set on fire, ablaze by one particular community, and she doesn't question them. Now, I heard Mr. Mondal speaking about from Bangladesh. That is why they are so wanting to, find out what kind of connections.
Let's not digress
but
from
this
the
is the same
issue.
minister.
Let me remind you here, the faith in the investigating agencies is quite shaky. Therefore, Mamata's statement has become relevant because we know. Look at what has happened to NCB. They had to order an internal inquiry on Sameer Wankhare, right?
Madam, I do not agree.
No. Look at how the officers were implicated of misconduct. Look at ED. The PMLA court only yesterday said the arrest of Sanjay Raut was illegal. Look at NIA. The top court in the Navlakha case is saying, why are you basing inquiry on a foreign court's order? So this is coming at a certain time, which is why we have taken up this topic, Priyanka Tibirwal, that here is a person who is a chief minister of a state questioning the NIA's functioning. Yes.
Is this the only agency she has questioned? Tell me, is this the only agency she has questioned? She after the ED, she's after the NHRC,
is Mamata the only
she's
one
after
questioning
the
agencies?
CBI, everyone.
Courts are also questioning
the
agencies. I can put the same question to you. Mamata is not the only one.
No, madam, let me tell you, she did go to the court. She did challenge the report. She did challenge the report of the NHRC by saying that it was a biased report. But what did the Calcutta High Court say? They said that all these allegations were only allegations and it was rejected. So her claim of being biased was rejected. Now, because these agencies are showing her the right face, the dirty face. So she is hating all the agencies.
I have a former joint director of CBI, Mr. Sen, with us. I'll have Mr. Sen tell us this.
That is why she is against all the agencies.
Okay, I got your point. Mr. Shantanu Sen, the point that is being made after all... No, I'll come to you, Mr. Mondal. Let's have all the panelists come in first. Mr. Sen, the point that is being made after all is that NIA is a tool in the hands of the ruling dispensation. So, without naming BJP, referring to the vehicles, the VIP vehicles, of course, she's not referring to the vehicles of her own party. She's saying VIP vehicles are being used to ferry arms and money. Now, my concern here is the implication is that there is the agency working as a handmaid of the ruling dispensation at the center, Mr. Sen.
NIA is the only federal police. It has been created with the consent of the state. The CBI does not investigate without the consent of the state. NIA can. And the states willingly gave up their powers to the NIA. Now the question before us is whether the NIA is being used. Well, the opposition has no trust, does not get along with the ruling party. That's a sad fact. In those days when the opposition and the ruling party together governed the country, the opposition finding out carefully and diplomatically and gentlemanly the flaws has gone. I remember those days when the opposition was able to persuade the ruling party to investigate their own corruption. Jyotirmay Basu, Gurudas Dasgupta, they were able to convince the government that there is corruption in your government, and the government willingly had JPC, allowed CBI to investigate those cases. Now the relationship between the opposition and the government is sadly vitiated. And that is why these allegations are being made. Unfortunately, in the middle is these investigating agencies which normally do a good piece of work, now facing onslaughts both from the government and also from the opposition, these agencies have come to a sad pass.
But Mr. Sen,
The
it's
powers
not
of the
just
agencies
opposition
have been
leaders.
disrupted.
I referred to
I
earlier, if
remember
you
the
could hear
CBI.
me, that the courts are also raising questions on their functioning. ED is being pulled up, NIA is being pulled up, and I referred to the instances of yesterday and today where the court made
No,
some
I
stinging
agree.
observations.
I entirely agree that there is a sad fall in the standards of the investigating agencies also. Why? Because you have been controlling government is now controlling the investigating agencies. Remember,
Are you saying that in your
2018,
position as a responsible
powers of
officer who served the CBI, that the government is
Please,
controlling these agencies? Because that's, of course, it would be quite a big statement coming from you. And that would, of course, mean that after all, the leaders of the opposition would remain vulnerable.
Please don't interrupt. Please
ahead,
don't
sir. Go
interrupt. Let me finish. Let me finish my argument. The government has introduced laws. I'm talking of 17A, which has been introduced in the Prevention of Corruption Act in 2018. That has taken away the powers of the CBI and the anti-corruption agencies to inquire, investigate, verify any act of corruption until the government tells them to do so. This was not there before. The government has willingly and completely knowingly has said that you will not investigate till we tell you to do so, because they felt that these anti-corruption agencies were overreaching themselves. They were taking away the initiative from public servants. They brought in this law. And this is very unfortunate. What was wrong in the CBI's investigations has been made further wrong by taking away the power of the CBI and the anti-corruption agency and the ED of taking up suo motu corruption cases. If you control them and you ask them to investigate, of course, investigation will be according to law. But the manner of investigation starts in this manner because the law has now been introduced. So these agencies have been disrupted. The powers have been taken away from them. That is why today these investigating agencies are being rightly questioned by the opposition.
Yes.
Because investigating agencies are no longer independent and they have been legally strangulated by introducing such laws. 2018 law, please think about it. There has been articles on this in the Indian Express. Diptiman Tiwari has explained how the power of the CBI has been taken away to find out suo motu corruption.
Will you agree then, Priyanka Tibrewal? Let me bring in
happens.
Mr. Sen. Thank you. You made some very important points, but you know this needs to be emphasized, which is what I was trying to do. Sorry for that interruption. What I really wanted to do is underline what Mr. Shantanu Sen is saying, that the power to take suo motu cognizance is taken away. The government will decide when to probe someone. So the agencies are entirely at the behest of the center. Priyanka Tibrewal, to that extent, I'm sure you'll have to agree with the former CBI director.
No, not in all the cases. Not in all the cases, because you see, if there are certain incidents, like you mentioned the case of Sandeep Wankhede, the court pulled it out and then it was pointed out where the agency went wrong. So now, if you specifically say that all the agencies are biased, all the agencies are being run, then that cannot be accepted, because I will once again say this, that Mamata Banerjee is saying this on purpose, because in the past few days, we have seen how cash of money has been, a stack of money was found in their leader's house, and that is the reason they are in the jail now. The entire education department of the state is sitting tight in the jail. And we cannot say that there wasn't any corruption.
Here is, you're
People are
picking
sitting
and
on the streets,
choosing.
job seekers
There is
asking for jobs.
corruption
But this government has no jobs.
We are not saying that, some of these cases are not genuine. What we are saying is there is a selective targeting. That is where the problem is. Mr. Mondal, quick last word to you.
I think you have said
Not
it,
at all, not at all. Where every week, where every week there is bomb.
Just hold on. I need to get in Monojit Mondal as well.
You see, I mean, for what purpose NIA was created? We all know it's, in the aftermath of 26/11 attacks. NIA was specifically created to, investigate into the serious cases of terrorism. Now, what they're doing here, it could be clashes between two communities, between two clubs, and when the state government has taken adequate action under the direction of the High Court, NIA has to come in for this purpose. Just please ponder over those issues. Why and how this was created on our money after that humongous terrorist attack in 2008. It was created by the UPA, and Mamata Banerjee was at that point of time, was part of the UPA, was at least supporting the UPA, right? And now this is what NI has come down to, just to score political brownie point. I would like to know, in the last 3-4 weeks that they have been investigating this Mominpur case, what new they have found, NIA, apart from what the police of West Bengal has already found, arresting people, taking the things under control, reporting to the High Court. What new is just perception battle?
Yes, I will close this conversation by drawing from what Mr. Shantanu Sen said, that the overreach of these agencies is a genuine concern. We all have to agree. Thank you very much, Shantanu Sen, Monojit Mondal and Priyanka Tibrewal, for joining us on the program.